A lot of people hate on property owners and landlords for being a little bit too cheap with their properties. But why don't you look at it from their perspective? This is what we're left with after a tenant turnover. I mean, these walls are wrecked. And sure, you might be thinking, well, you probably paint anyway in a turnover. And yeah, that's right. But I think that all the crayons on the wall and all the destruction that was done is a pretty good indication of how these people care about your property. And you know, we talk about this a lot. You have to do the things that protect your property from people because they're not going to be thinking about it. It's our property management team that sent this video of their walkthrough, and he's wearing gloves, and he probably should be. I can almost smell it now. Honestly, don't even know what that is all over the walls. It's some sort of destruction. And, you know, I do notice in the tub itself, there's some gaps in between the shower surround and the tub itself. And, you know, another thing to think about is when your house has windows or whatever, anywhere where water can get in, it's gonna get in. And especially when it's not your personal house and you're not looking for those things, that means that it's just happening over long periods of time. And this is how like some serious structural damage ultimately happens. He says, that house is no good. Just before we put this tenant in here, we had done some new floors in the main room. We'll probably have to tear most of those out and redo floors throughout. We painted, we did some other remodeling throughout. You know, there's certainly a line between being a slumlord and being smart about the money that you spend. And if you spend too much money, you end up with an issue where you have to keep spending that money over and over and over again. Because no matter how nice I made a property in this neighborhood, I'm only gonna get a certain level of tenant. It's not like putting more money into it is gonna get me a higher level tenant, therefore less likely to tear up the property. So that means that if initially I had spent, let's say $40,000 on the renovation as opposed to the $15,000 or $20,000 that we spent, that means I'd be re-spending that money either way. I would have just wasted the extra money. But being a slumlord means that you're not worried about safety and liability issues, that you don't care about fire alarms that don't work or broken glass or things that are gonna get people legitimately hurt, windows that don't open in bedrooms. So you got to make sure that you do those foundational things. But after that, should you really think about a rental house like what you would do if you were going to live in it? Because I don't think you treat your property this way.